Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Kick back, light up, let the good vibes flow. It's Gorilla Cigar Lounge, the place to go. Politics, nerds, and the good old days. Grab your drink, join the talk, let's set it ablaze. Welcome to the lounge where the smokes rise high, where we talk what matters, no sugar, no lie. From galaxy far away to the world outside, Gorilla Cigar Lounge where legends reside. Starships and memories, debates get real. We're saving the world with a mic and some seal. Laughs and wisdom, we're bringing the heat. So pull up a chair, you're in for a treat. Welcome to the lounge where the smokes rise high, where we talk what matters, no sugar, no lie. From galaxy far away to the world outside, Gorilla Cigar Lounge where legends reside. Starships and memories, debates get real. We're saving the world with a mic and some seal. Laughs and wisdom, we're bringing the heat. So pull up a chair, you're in for a treat. Welcome to the lounge where the smokes rise high, where we talk what matters, no sugar, no lie. From galaxy far away to the world outside, Gorilla Cigar Lounge where legends reside. So spark up that stove, let's start the show. At Gorilla Cigar Lounge, let the conversation flow.
And hello everyone, and welcome to the 77th Cigar Lounge, where tonight I was originally just going to do a Q&A until I was going through my YouTube subscriptions there, noticed that Poland's airspace got violated there by Russia, and now everybody's going nuts on Twitter but calling for Article 5 to be invoked. So I thought this would be a good discussion to have as long as we can keep some cool heads about ourselves with it.
Yeah.
I have a question, Gorilla. Is there any information on the who sent the drones in? To
Russia violated Poland's airspace in operations in Ukraine, but Poland started shooting down the drones that were in their airspace.
I guess if somebody invades your airspace, you have a right to maybe defend your territory. I suppose.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. We'll get into this discussion here.
Sure, go.
We got our tornado alarm from Phantom Boomer going whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Hey, don't jinx me there, Phantom Boomer.
Yeah, the same again. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Don't do that. No, Phantom.
You get 2 likes for the first one.
Oh, boy.
Well, thanks, Boomer.
Thanks.
And I'll pull that up here in a minute, here, Thomas.
Thanks, Thomas.
Welcome, Thomas. Hey, you pro-Russian fruitcakes. Hey, I'm not saying I'm pro-Russian. Hey,
I'm not pro-Russian.
I'm on the side that Zelensky and Putin are both assholes. So
I'm not pro-Russian at all. I just wish they'd cooler heads would get together and settle this stupidity. That's all.
Yeah, just bring back old-fashioned dueling. Zelensky versus Putin.
I say give them a couple of rapiers and just let them duel it out. Right, that would be entertaining.
Nah, pistols at dawn.
Pistols at dawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hey, Gap, how's it going? Welcome.
Yeah, Gap.
Here they go.
In town saying hello, everybody. Boomer!
Your microphone is still kind of cut out a little here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because I got a couple things there. And Gap says hello, not my movie. JP's is on the panel. Yes, he is.
Yes, he
Are you
is.
sure it was actually Russia? It wouldn't be the first time Ukraine faked something like that. They're saying that it's Shazin or Shazin drones that they're the kamikaze drones that Iran has sold to Russia. But
Before.
I want to emphasize this is just the information we have now. It could change in 72 hours.
Whatever is Russia.
I do have a question though. If Iran sold it to Russia, did they sell them to anyone else too, by chance?
No, Iran
Oh,
and Russia
okay.
are allies, so
Well, I'm just saying though, like they could have, sold it to another country as well. I was just trying to cover the bases. But
I don't.
well, they
I'm
could've
pretty
sold
sure they're
them
not
like-
selling them to Ukraine because we're
No.
we're the
No,
ones selling all the
no.
weapons to Ukraine.
Well,
Yeah, Moira, I think they could have sold
No.
them to Syria and possibly Iraq.
well,
Either one of
Syria
those.
is in no position to be doing anything right now. They have a whole fight going on over there. It's a mess. They're not fucking with anybody in Europe right now. They ain't got
Right.
the time.
But Iraq could.
Yeah.
Iraq could start it up with Iran.
Iraq isn't trying to get. I don't think Iraq even wants anymore. They've already had 20 years of crazy shit. I don't think they're trying to get involved right
And
now.
Iran and Iraq aren't exactly friends.
no,
No,
that's
neither is
true.
India and Pakistan, but you've already had an instance where they fired a missile into the other
I don't think
countries.
either
So.
country is in any shape to want to not want to start another war with another country, though. I don't
Yeah.
think Iran or Iraq. I can't see them wanting that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Scurvy
And,
said,
and Iraq definitely has been kind of being. We haven't heard much out of Iraq. It's been trying to mind its own business for a
Well,
while.
after that Gulf
Yeah.
War business, they kind of
Right.
shut up.
Right?
Oh my God, Sir Lemon did say this, right? Am I
Well,
reading
it's
that right?
Poland's fault for existing next door to Russia. Russia is entitled to be the
Oh,
dominant
wow.
I pulled up a map.
Wow.
That
Yeah,
is
that's major
sarcasm.
sarcasm there.
Yeah.
Well, I have a map shared that Gorilla can share with everybody because I decided to pull it up to see where everything was, and they explain what part of Russia it came from because there's that little. I don't know why I'm using my mouse. Y'all can't see what I'm fucking pointing at. But there's a little tiny piece of Russia right next to Poland, but the mainland of it, they would have to go over Ukraine or Belarus or fucking Lithuania to get to Poland.
No, but they've been doing operations out of Belarus also. I'm wondering if they're trying to not hit Levin over here.
But
this little
Belarus is
town.
right next to Ukraine as well. They could have just shot right into Ukraine. It doesn't make sense unless it was an exit strategy where they were leaving Belarus, flying something into Ukraine, and then kind of doing a half-assed U-turn and come through part of Poland's airspace. So I'm trying to figure out exit strategy, trying to get out of there makes more sense than them trying to come in through there.
Well, I can't see Russia wanting to start anything up with Poland and NATO.
Exactly.
That would be, Putin is not that dumb to shoot himself in the foot like that.
I agree.
So
what is?
But I just want to finish my thought there. It's kind of murky though. Like when you get into the international arms trade, I'm sure that the supply chain documents can kind of disappear quite quickly over the years, right? Because pretty soon it's like who sold what to whom, like who knows, right? But I'm just thinking, there's got to be another strategy here for them to. I think maybe they want a diversion with Poland for some reason, but I have no idea.
I'm wondering if they're not going through Poland's airspace to come in from the north as kind of throw off the defenses.
No, if Putin launched an attack on Ukraine through Poland's airspace, I think NATO would be getting close to Article 5 at that point. Or at
I
least
don't know. Everybody's getting so trigger happy. Like, airspace violations happen all the time. We do it to Russia. Russia does it to us. We do it to China. China does it to us.
Yeah,
Right.
but you usually don't attack each other with drones, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Russians have invaded Canadian airspace over the years. They've sent their fighter jets in, and our fighter jets, kick them in the ass and chase them back out. Like
Right.
it happened so many times. I don't know when the last time. It's been a long time because I think the Russians finally figured out it was kind of a waste of their time and their their airplanes to just fly
Hey,
around.
Suzanne.
Yeah.
Hey, Suzanne.
No, but I think the only thing that makes this situation different than like when they violate our airspace or we violate ours, is there's an actual war going on in the region. But I still think they're trying to go through Poland and come in from the north
Well,
because they're expecting an attack from the east.
I wish the news would let us know whether or not this drone had a payload or not. If it doesn't and it had one, then that might mean that it's escaping through Poland after completing its mission. If it still had it, then it was trying to sneak in from the north, most likely.
Well, one thing I never watch mainstream media anymore because here in Canada, it's basically propaganda now.
Same.
Yeah. Well, this is all still breaking too, because Poland right now has issued stay-at-home orders for their entire country.
Listen,
Yeah.
with the way Poland's been treated in the history, they're at the point of fuck around and find out right now.
Yeah.
They've been buying so much weapons from the U.S. and waiting for somebody to hit them.
Yeah.
It's possible that they were just trying to go on the border and not actually into their airspace and made a mistake. It's quite possible that people are freaking out over something that was just a mistake. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Do we know how many drones that were sent in?
Right.
Well, according to the map, there's that space between Poland and Lithuania. It's called Kaliningrad. And
Kaliningrad.
Kaliningrad, and if they fire if they launch any drones, technically Kaliningrad is still a part of Russian airspace, and it's also part of Russia itself. So, if there's going to be anything sent into Poland that way, other than by Belarus, that's where it's going to come from. Is Kaliningrad?
Yeah,
I
but
feel like it's
Kaliningrad
silly
is
for
just
them
a
to do
port
that.
territory. This is the port territory. They're not going to keep much for military in there unless they're trying to use it as not as a launching pad, but as waste your ammunition on this stuff.
I like the way Resolute Germ is thinking. It could have been
Yeah.
something simple as a mistake, and they're trying to use it as something bigger to kick off something.
Hey,
All right, let's catch up on chats here real quick. Grill bought a few
You're on drones.
Hey.
Thanks, Pots.
Iranian drones are a little too expensive for me. I like the cheap Chinese crap.
Actually, I got a theory coming to mind. I think Gorilla sent those drones in so he could attack in his Speedo.
Oh my goodness! I did.
Oh,
I did.
so
that
it is
in
the
full,
gorilla
so,
Speedo
I
gorilla,
love that.
or we're talking about the
Yeah.
Indian form Speedo
Yeah,
gorilla.
yep, I love that cat avatar. Meow meow. I love that black cat.
All right, so Gorilla forgot to turn off the ads.
Uh,
Oh well. Belarus is a Russian puppet country. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it
that's
is.
true, Pots. As I said, it could come from them. It could come from Kaliningrad, which is still
But
technically
if
a disputed
Belarus is a
Russian
puppet
spot.
country for Russia, then it would have made more sense for them to use the route through Belarus to come in from that way
They
and
have.
not go over airspace that somebody was going to get pissed about.
Well, they
But
have
it
been
seems
going
like
through
it's a weird and
Belarus.
careless thing to do it this way.
Well, they have been coming
Yeah,
through Belarus.
Ru-
How do
Russia
you know
has
that?
their Russia mobilized their nukes to Belarus.
Really?
Yeah, so them going through Poland technically doesn't sound like it would benefit Russia at all. And like PvP said, Putin may be odd, but he's not a stupid man.
Yeah.
So I don't understand
Yeah.
what would have been a benefit in this
And
way.
Resolute Germ says those drones are easy to come by.
They are.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
still, but I'm just going with the information we have now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
My money is off. But yeah, exactly.
I
think
like
it is.
that. I like that.
Yeah, I like that false flag for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
We
even
did say hello to
it'd be a false
Suzanne.
flag, or they're going to try to turn it into a false flag, and the person piloting it may have simply just made a miscalculation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kirby says this happened over Romania a couple months ago. I don't remember hearing that, but
Yeah, they're making a federal case out of this one when it happens all the time in other places. So I think it's odd that this time they're making a big deal about it.
where's Romania on this map? Let's see if I can enlarge it on myself.
It's
Okay.
yeah,
It's
it'd
to
be
the
past
west.
Poland a little bit.
It's to the
Yeah.
west of Poland.
South,
and
it's the west
Ukraine
of
there.
Ukraine.
Yeah,
I'm still
Yes.
thinking that I don't. You can't see my mouse here, but I'm thinking they sent them through Belarus, around, through Poland, and they're gonna try to hit Lviv here, up in the northeastern corner, or northwestern corner.
Yeah. Now, do you see that little
Yeah,
inlet
that's
there, which is
Kaliningrad.
just below Ukraine? That's Sevastopol, and Sevastopol. Yeah, that's a potential launch point. Also, if Russia has anything to do on the waterways and stuff That is one direction. That is one part that they can start from and jump
Well,
right into
hey,
it.
where's this map from? Because they're showing Crimea as still being part of Ukraine, but Russia's controlled that since 2014.
Yeah, they've had the Crimea for a while, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, wait, where did this map come from again? Is this a current world map or just?
I mean, that's why I was asking Moria.
Yeah,
Let me
Mary?
go. Let me look at the website. It's called orangesmile.com for some reason. It was just one of the first maps I could get open.
Huh.
Okay. Let's see.
All right.
Russia invaded on the ground through Belarus when they attempted to take Kiev. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my province is fighting to become the U.S. 51st state. Now, whoop whoop. Alrighty. So,
Well, you're not
Suzanne,
having sooner than you think, Suzanne.
Suzanne, are you asking for our CIA to come in and premeditated revolution in Saskatchewan?
Well, Suzanne is in Saskatchewan, and Alberta's next door, west of that, and they're fed up with the East draining our resources and taking all our money because they
Right.
do get lots of our money in transfer payments every year, which is ridiculous. And then they turn around and they kick Alberta in the shins and won't allow them to export their oil and gas to the world because
Right.
the Liberals won't allow pipelines to be built to the East and West Coast. Like,
Yeah.
duh, way to run the economy, Liberals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be if we have a socialist premier in BC, he needs to leave. I will put it politely. So if the CIA wanted to come up and maybe muck around here, I wouldn't say no personally.
Yeah. And welcome, Herc. Germ said, good luck
Yeah,
with
Herc
Suzanne.
130.
Yeah.
Hello.
Herc said, hello, Suzanne. I haven't said hello to you in a month at least.
Yeah.
Well, Suzanne's been going through a few things lately.
Yeah. It's been a rough year.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
Everybody saying hello to each other. And Scooby's asking Herc where is he at because it's thinking it
Where are
afternoon.
you?
Hold on, delayed to December 17th for my trip.
Oh.
Huh.
And Thomas says it depends on who makes the map. I'm pretty sure that the U.S. doesn't recognize that part of Ukraine under Russian control, so the map will show that it's Ukraine while Russia made maps. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, they were at one time Soviet states, but they haven't been that way for a while since 1989.
Yeah.
They took down the wall, so yeah.
So this here is the thing from Poland says, attention, during today's attack by the Russian Federation carrying out strikes on targets located in the territory of Ukraine, our airspace was repeatedly violated by drone-type objects. An operation is underway aimed at identifying and neutralizing the objects. In the order of the operational commander of the Polish Armed Forces, weapons have been deployed and services are actively working to locate the downed objects. We emphasize that the military operation is ongoing and we urge people to stay at home. The most threatened areas are the Pulaski, Mazowiecki, and Lubeski
Can I get subtitles for that? Can I get subtitles for that?
I can just see Girl on the stage doing a Polish translation live with the leader of Poland. That would be hilarious.
They probably think he would have a very country accent, so it would be a little headliner there. Here's how a redneck country boy, pronounces Polish.
Redneck American infiltrates Poland.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And the operational command of the Polish Armed Forces is monitoring the current situation. The forces and resources under its command remain fully prepared for. So basically, they're shooting down any object that's violating their airspace.
All right,
Yeah,
I got a couple of things to ask here. One, what time local time did this happen?
Yeah.
So I want to know if it's night or day when this happened. I know that sounds weird, but I'll get to that. And look up the type of drone they're saying that was shot down, and find out if can it usually avoid radar.
This was at 8:48 p.m. our time that this was posted.
It might have been around sunset for them, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So
a
that
that in
Poland,
Russian is a it's
Poland,
prosody communique. Yeah, communicate.
Poland, I
Mhm.
believe, is 9 hours ahead of us, somewhere around that.
Probably, yeah.
So it's nighttime operations, probably.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds
Now
right.
look up the type of drone it was because you could probably find it and just copy and paste it into the search bar and find out if it has ways of avoiding radar, if it's one of those stealthy kinds or not. Because if it is, then we have to ask the question: how did they know that drone was even there if it happened at night and it avoids radar?
Well, I don't think I think only our Predator drones have that radar deflecting.
Well, it doesn't hurt to check though, because
Well,
sometimes if you dig, you can find little inconsistencies in stories, and those are always fun.
I actually have a question too. I don't suppose it's probably too early, but does anybody know if these drones were capable of carrying any time of payload that
they're
might be used
kamikaze
offensively?
drones. They're kamikaze
Non-combat.
drones.
So these are what reconnaissance at best.
No,
Right.
I
no, they're used to fly right into buildings that blow up.
Well, they might, but I mean, it'd be almost easier just to send a missile
well, I
because
think
for a
yeah.
drone to explode, it's going to have a payload on it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a regular little
Yeah,
aircraft.
but
Going.
here's the thing: we got our Patriot missiles there that are designed to fight the Russian missiles coming in.
Right.
Okay, folks. I have the name of the drone, which
Okay.
was taken from Iran. It's called the Shahed or the Shahid.
Okay.
It's an
So let me copy and
Iranian-made
paste that
drone
into the search.
used in attacks on civilian targets. And these drones represent a mix of surveillance, reconnaissance, and
Yeah,
combat capabilities,
Well, it's
reflecting Russia's evolving drone strategy in modern
so it
warfare.
could have been a reconnaissance mission.
yeah.
I bet it was.
Professor Brady Specs, welcome, welcome.
Meow meow, Professor.
Oh, hey,
Hey, Bernie Specs.
Rainy Man from Texas.
I still have a theory though that this was a test of NATO. Just checking to see how NATO would respond to get
Right.
a response out of NATO, because NATO has to give some kind of response or they're going to
Yeah, but
look weak.
Russia's having enough problems fighting Ukraine. They don't need to add all of NATO to their problems.
No, but I just think Putin's kind of tweaking NATO's nose, going, gotcha, what you going to do about it? Gotcha, what you going to do now? Like it's like
Maybe.
he's kind of testing, pushing, seeing what he can get away with, and I think that could be a secondary strategy here, personally.
It would bring so much attention to him in a negative way, and he's not. I don't think he was. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think he's
yeah.
above giving someone a boop on the nose, but I just feel like this particular situation would not be a benefit to him.
Well, that's
Oh,
what I'm
we lost
trying to
JP's.
figure out still. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't see
know.
it
I
clearly
talked to
either
him
yet.
already. Yeah.
But, Putin doesn't seem to really care about what a lot of people think about him, I've noticed over the years. So,
Right.
you
It's hard to be a leader of any kind if you're going to care about everybody. But he's smart
Yeah.
enough that he knows that if he ruffles the wrong feathers over airspace that has no stock in this fight, it's going to create more people against him. And they've been running each other ragged for the last 3 or 4 years. They're not going to want to add new people into this fight.
And I would imagine there are lots of military families back home in Russia that have lost a lot of their soldiers. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're growingly unsympathetic towards Putin's war as well.
I think they're all about done with it. It's only the leaders that are keeping it going.
Yeah.
Because Zelensky, man, he was making hand over fist cash from us from all that. He kept coming over here and begging for money and panhandling, and he'd get billions to take back.
He's doing it to Canada
He had
too.
a lot of financial incentive to not find any kind of peacemaking situation out
Yeah,
there.
and
Yeah.
only like 30% of it was getting to where it's supposed to be.
Well,
Mhm.
Mark Carney, the prime minister here, about 2 months ago, announced $2 billion in aid for Ukraine.
Yeah, that's a good ton of money.
Meanwhile, we've got thousands of homeless people. I go to a food bank every month, like a lot of Canadians do. We've got homeless veterans sleeping on the sidewalks. No money for them, but send a
Right.
couple billion so Zelensky can get richer, right?
And that's one of the reasons I'm anti-war is because look at how many people do without, and our government's not even taken care of. Now they're going to try to, these countries, including us, are going to create more veterans that they're not going to take care of.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the problem with the countries is they just don't have any priorities
Exactly.
over the more domestic issues.
You
They
know,
don't
I,
care.
I see a bigger picture than that, though. From what I've been researching over the last half year or so, I've been going quite in depth on weekends and when I got some free time. I've been watching a lot of videos on various independent media channels on YouTube, and there's some very good ones because they actually get out on the street. They actually get actual video from people using their cell phones to record shit that's actually going on. And they even some of the channels even have their own reporters that go out with a camera and a mic and try and interview folks. But I think there's a bigger pattern. I think a lot of too many governments want to actually create instability and chaos because it helps the leaders stay in power when everybody's fighting against each other underneath them.
I think it's simpler than that. Have you ever heard of the Carter Turkey Park pipeline?
Say it again.
Is that the one at Thanksgiving, Gorilla?
Oh, the pipeline they were been trying to build through Syria.
The only
Right?
country that said no to it was Syria. And what a shocker! They fell into civil war.
Yep. And they were that did I had talked about that in one of my live streams. He said he wanted to do business with Turkey. He didn't want to do business with the other countries that wanted that pipeline. And all hell broke loose after that. Like the next year, suddenly they were accusing him of poisoning his own people, all kinds of shit.
Well,
and I saw a comment from General Mad Dog Mattis that said that he had seen no evidence that Assad had done this to his own people. And I will believe Mad Dog Mattis.
Well, I think it's more that they fell into civil war and all that, and the Assad got toppled there. And it's all to offset the Russian gas, the Russian pipeline.
Right? I don't doubt that in the least. A lot of stuff. I mean, when there's billions and billions of dollars at stake, there is probably almost nothing they won't do, including people they won't kill for that.
But let's catch up on chats here.
Yeah.
Boomer says, hope you can enjoy the anticipation even more. Yeah. Well, good luck on your trip, Herc. The games people play, yeah, exactly, Professor. It's all a game to our leaders. We're all the pawns. There's a commercial in the middle of your. Yeah, that happens. Ask Joshua about playing this game.
Who?
Joshua.
I'm not sure who Joshua. I might need more context there, Professor. Yepper's Gorilla.
Waiting
Sitting
for the day
I get my First and Second, Fourth Amendment rights.
There you go.
Oh, waiting.
Wait, you should have your Fourth Amendment rights already.
She's Canadian.
Or, ma'am, sorry.
She's
We're
Canadian.
in Canada.
Oh,
We're in Canada. We're not the 51st state yet. Trump card hasn't decided to invade us.
The thing is, there are certain firearms that Canadians are legally allowed to own.
I know, baby.
But our corrupt little liberal government that just got reelected for a fourth term earlier this year, I don't know why. Well, Trump basically opened his mouth about 51st state, and that made a lot of Canadians angry. So they voted liberal again, which was the worst thing they could do because the liberals are completely corrupt. Carney's basically a WEF puppet. The guy doesn't give a damn about Canada. He's actually got passports for Britain and Ireland as well. And he ran the Bank of England for 10 years and only came back to Canada in the last decade or so to work for the Liberal Party. The guy couldn't give a flying F about Canada. And if Canada collapsed in flames, guess who the first guy would be on a plane back to Europe? It would be Carney, because every time he messes up, that's where he goes. He said he was going to do the elbows up trade fight with Trump. Guess what? He backed down 100%, didn't get anything off the tariffs. He took all our counter tariffs down. So now we have nothing even to fight back against Trump's tariffs. And what does he do when he fails that week? He flies back to Europe and talks with European leaders with a bunch of BS about, going to Zelensky and promising the $2 billion and et cetera, right? It's like, it's so transparent when you pay attention to it.
But PvP, the one thing that I've been reading about lately on some of these other pirate, and is that tourism for the United States from Canada is definitely suffering. And there's
Well,
a lot
course
of
we will.
border towns that are going to suffer because
Yeah,
of
of
lack of
course.
tourism.
But do you think Trump cares about that?
Yeah.
No,
So
Trump doesn't give a flyer's ass, but I'm just saying that is one of the main commodities.
But you know,
is tourism.
whose fault's that?
yeah. But anyhow, guys, let's catch up on chats here. Herc
Yeah,
said
dude.
LOL, subtitles LOL. And everybody's saying hello
It's
to
Professor Brady on the top.
Professor for some reason.
Okay.
Most of the Shaheeds used by Russia are combat drones with the payload. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
they
That's
are.
what they're meant to carry. There can be a Shahed drone, as according to the description, can carry several things. One is a payload. Two is a bunch of surveillance equipment. With cameras and all that shit, advanced cameras. The other thing they can carry is weapons, and weapons can be delivered to other sources from those very same drones.
Yeah.
So
Jern said the Russian problems in Ukraine are greatly overstated in the West. The truth is, Russia hasn't tried to push into Ukraine territory beyond what they have in 2 years. Well, that's another theory that I think Ian Cogley came up because if you look here, what they're trying to do you probably can't see my map here. And hey, Jim, how's it going? They took the eastern half here. I think they're trying to get the road here, the M51 or something that goes straight down into Crimea. I think they're just trying to secure a land bridge to Crimea.
Oh, I just got what Brainy said about Joshua. Joshua was in that 1982 movie War Games, who determined that there was no winner in a world war.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Man, I feel dumb. I did not understand that.
Well, I just realized when I just looked over at Brainy and he said, "Oh, Joshua's a computer." I said, "Oh, yeah, that had Matthew Broderick and Amy Sheedy in it."
Right.
That was 80s, wasn't it? Though I mean, I haven't seen that movie.
1982. 1982.
Okay, that's when I saw it when it came out. I mean,
yeah,
excuse me for not having a memory of something I watched like over 40 years ago, but I just don't.
Yeah.
Even Suzanne laughed at that. Yeah. I understand.
This is essentially an offensive war on Ukraine's part.
Yeah.
Russia dug in once they secured their land bridge.
I mean, look, if you look at this map and you look at the border, Ukraine has actually acquired a bit more land since the breakup of the USSR in the 90s. But now Russia wants to get some of it back. The only thing, as I said before, the only thing I can see if they want to control the Crimean Sea and that sort of thing is Sevastopol. And I think if they take that back, then you got an issue. So, that's the only thing I see. I mean, as far as like acquiring land, that way.
Yeah. I heard said more subtitles, please, are needed.
Yeah.
There we go.
Putin doesn't give a flying rat's ass what anyone thinks. Canada can't feed or care for its own.
Yeah, that's true, Suzanne.
Then we covered this here with being a war.
Yeah, with war games. Yeah.
And Canada still has a lot of tariffs on U.S. goods.
No, we don't.
Yeah, PvP. You want to read this one?
Not due to this recent trade war. We might. Well, sure, we got tariffs on stuff like eggs and dairy products for decades now, but that's a totally different ball of wax, Germ.
Sure.
Different time period, different ball of wax. Sorry, guy.
Yeah.
Guy.
Did you want to read this there, PvP?
I can do that. Breaking news: eggnog from PvP's personal stash found splattered on U.S. soil. NATO dissolved. Okay, there we go. I wish I had that kind of influence.
Yeah. And Canadian tourism means virtually nothing here. I've only run into 2 Canadians in my lifetime, so
but Jeremy, it's where you live. It's where you live in Washington State that doesn't deal with a lot of that tourism. But if you go further over to the border that borders you, yes, those towns will suffer.
I guess Jerem's obviously never heard of Point Roberts, Washington. That is a land bridge only connected to Canada. It has no land connection to the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
So without
All right.
Canadian trade, Point Roberts is going to suffer.
It will. Yes.
Yeah. At least all the money we spent on drones, they actually come back from its mission.
Some do, not all
That
of them.
map looks like a board game of Risk.
Risk. I've never played one.
All your nerd cards are revoked.
They
now
are
it's
not.
bad. Damn it.
It's time to sock up, folks. Time for talking is done.
Does it say where in Poland the drone was shot down? Like, if it's one of the border towns, that might make sense why it was trying to get out.
I'm not familiar with they said those 3 territories there, or what we would call there are 3 provinces. But I'd have to actually look at a map here.
Well, I
You'd
guess,
have to get a
I guess
Poland
we
map.
could pull up a map of Poland and see if we can find out how close to the border it was to see if it looked like it was on purpose or
Yeah, that'd be
right in
good.
the fucking middle of
Yeah,
it.
but are
Go
they
for it.
saying that they're definitely determined it came from Belarus? Is that what they're saying?
They said it came from well, they said it was Russian. I guess did they really say which direction it came from? They just said Russia, so I just assumed it came from the east of them, but or the south of them.
Belarus is pretty much connected with Russia, though, is it not these days? Like,
Yeah.
I've heard that it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of. I mean, they're just like an expatriate state. So
Yeah. And Jim, how are you doing?
Hey, Jim.
I'm
I'm doing all right, just tired.
yeah, I was going to get around to saying hi to Jim when I got the chance. Hi, Jim.
Hey, what's
Okay,
up?
it's these
Not
3
much.
corners. It's this corner here is where they're flying in from.
Okay, so yeah, they may have been just trying to get out of the Ukrainian area after doing whatever it was there to do. It was probably trying to avoid airspace and just accidentally miscalculated, or was maybe something Ukrainian was on in hot pursuit after them, and they had to make a quick exit, get out of there.
Well,
Because
these are
border.
well, if these are kamikaze drones, then that
Well, it
won't
said
matter if they're coming
kamikaze,
back.
Mikey read a description that they can be kamikaze, but they're also used for reconnaissance.
Yes.
So if he
I
was
would
just,
guess-
if they
I
were just
would
nosing
guess-
around and checking stuff in Ukraine, and maybe they were getting chased by a Ukrainian drone, they had to get their drone out of there, and they took the first exit they could.
I would
Yeah.
guess they were surveillance drones if they were on the way out trying to escape.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm still-
But as I said, the Shahed drones do have multiple purposes, so they
Yeah.
serve different
I-
different functions.
Yeah, see, I was just going by the theory of they're planning on going in from the north and they're attacking Lviv there. And they wanted to bypass because a lot of your weapons are going to be pointing to the east there because that's coming from Belarus and Russia. But if you're coming from the north, then they got to recalculate their weapons.
But the news is probably calling it a kamikaze drone because of clicks and views and get people worked up. When it may not be used for that purpose.
This will be the first time that Poland's called for Article 5, and you got all these warmongers, which how many of them are Ukrainian bot accounts calling for Article 5 to be invoked?
Oh, yeah, there's so many bot accounts on the internet encouraging the regular public like you and me to try to change how we think or see things.
Yeah. Well, Thomas said that he did hear that they shut down Warsaw, Poland's airport, their main airport.
Yeah, that's because they're running F-35s and F-16s, and I can't remember what it's. I think it's a German plane that they're flying. That they're running. They don't want to worry about civilian airplanes getting caught in the crossfire.
Well, I'm sure they would shut the airport down just for safety.
Yeah, and I live an hour from the border. Canadian has almost never come to the U.S., and when they do, they're as bad as the French.
You know what I really appreciate about Germans is unbiased opinion of Canada and Canadians. It's so clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada's only chance for survival is to join the U.S.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
that
don't
parliament
know.
system.
I wish the world was that simple anymore, but I don't think think answers are that easy these days.
Yeah. And Suzanne said hello to Jim. Suzanne, Canada needs to stay out of the USA. They will just make us more far right left.
You do not understand Western Canada. Western Canada is much far right than the East. Why do you think we want to separate from those lefties in Ontario and Quebec and Atlantic Canada? Because they're lefties and they keep voting for the stupid liberals who keep destroying our economy and taking away our civil rights. Western Canadians are fed up with that crap, and that's why they want out of this country to join the U.S. You have to do your homework, man. Do your homework.
What side? Hey, PvP, let me ask you this. What side is the province of Manitoba on, left or right?
Manitoba is on the left side of Saskatchewan.
No, but I mean, are they a part of the left party or the right party?
I haven't heard anything clear. Sometimes I'll see a video where Manitoba people want to separate. Then I'll hear they don't want to. There's so much bullshit on the internet now, Mikey. I have a heart. I mean, I could spend hours trying to filter out. It's like trying to put coffee, through the filter and trying to get a good cup of coffee, and then it still sucks. It's like it's so hard to find facts these days because there's so many lies from special interest groups.
Yeah. So you're saying it's like Starbucks coffee?
Starbucks sucks and they're overpriced.
Yeah. Let's see.
They are overpriced.
You can clip that one. Maybe you better not clip that one. You might get in trouble.
You will be welcome to civilization with open arms.
Right.
Okay, Professor, what do you see as Canada's saving grace? I, for one, welcome our new Canadian. Oh, Screamer's on the other side. He welcomes our new Canadian overlord. Gorilla, send your drones to Canada. It's time.
Oh. So Gorilla's going to lead the attack on Canada.
Oh,
now, hey, I got a weapon better than drones. We got the Speedo Gorilla Armada.
Oh, Jesus.
I do not want to see the Speedo Gorilla Armada flying over my town anytime soon.
I don't even want to see parachuting Silverhawks with Speedos on.
I just found something kind of odd. I decided to Google to ask, did Poland ever buy drones from Iran? Just to see what it said. It says, no, Poland did not buy drones from Iran. Instead, a Polish state-owned company, WSK Ponzan, I guess, is under investigation for their parts, drone parts being found in Iranian-made drones by Russia and Ukraine. The Polish International Security Agency is investigating the state-owned company, WSK. The accusation is that WSK allegedly sold components, specifically pumps, to a tractor manufacturing company in Iran, and those parts were then reportedly diverted to use an Iranian Shahed 136 kamikaze drones, which were subsequently sold to Russia for its war against Ukraine. So that's kind of a whole mess right there.
Well, if I had that confirmed by 2 or 3 sources, I would start to give it credibility. But
I give it credibility there. But the thing is that they're meant for tractors, and and Iran decided to use them for their drones.
Those must be really large drones if they're like tractor size, man.
Well, have you ever seen the size of our Predator drones? They're really big, but they're stealthy. Okay. The drones are not. No, it's not your little miniature commercial drones. These things are about the size of a van sometimes.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed. Like that's your macho American drone size, then. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Gorilla, catch up. See what you're saying.
Yeah. Suzanne says I'm going to hang out with Scurvy.
Okay. Have a good one.
And Jared says, I think the Speedo Armada is a war crime, Gorilla.
It's scary shit, all right.
And Suzanne says, shut up, I grew up in the West. Gorilla's troops are drunk on blueberry flavored beer. Scurvy, when have I ever drank blueberry flavored beer? I've only done that. I only had one of those.
Yeah, but it kind of put you under, didn't it?
No. Yeah, Manitoba is right of Saskatchewan.
Okay, so Manitoba is following
Manitoba's on the left.
No, but I think she's saying that they're following the policies that Alberta and
politically, maybe she means
politically.
Okay, here's the Western Canadian map from the Pacific Ocean: BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and then we get into those evil people in the east, Ontario, Quebec, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's what she's saying, is that Manitoba is favoring the same kind of thing that BC and Alberta and Saskatchewan are all following.
Okay, I keep seeing videos. There's rumors of that, but the thing is, I don't know how many videos, Mikey, I've seen that, Daniel Smith, the Albertan premier, has already signed a contract with Trump to move Alberta to the United States.
Thank you, Moira.
Of course, that has not ever happened yet. Whoever's posting these videos are talking out of their ass, right?
Sure.
I can't take that stuff seriously.
All right, in the
And
private
you know,
chat, I
Nemesis?
put 3 sources. There's more, but I was just randomly picking. So one
Yeah,
from
that's
a
why
publication
I
in
said
Poland.
thank you, Moira. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for those
thank
links.
you, Moira. And welcome,
Yeah.
Nemesis of Eden. Welcome. He's
Hey,
going
Nemesis.
with all beautiful beings and telling us
Hey,
hit that
Nemesis.
like button. Hey, Nemesis. And today I'm talking about the map here. We just covered that there.
Yeah, we covered that.
BC,
Yeah.
Alberta,
That's it.
Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario.
Right.
Everybody's saying hello to each other. When have I ever done that? I did it once. Gorilla.
He's calling you out on that. Scurvy is calling you out on that. I
And
love
further than that, I got from Jill when she said Eric's always comes on her slides.
What?
Yeah, no, when someone pointed out that you could see Eric's on one of her slides because she puts the Eric's watermark on it.
Oh, she does. She does to avoid the copy stuff.
Yeah, but anyhow, she mentioned in the stream when someone pointed out, goes, yeah, Eric's comes on all my slides.
Yeah.
Jill's so innocent at times. I can't believe it.
Yeah, and please, Alberta is far too concerned with giving the land back to the natives and reconciliation.
Well, that's another fly in the ointment, is it not? Because that's another thing the Liberals have introduced. What irks me is I have no problem with the Indigenous folks at all. Well, because Gorilla, of course I can't say that when I'm on his stream.
Uh-oh.
I'm just making a joke, Gorilla, just bugging you, pulling your not your middle leg though, never your middle leg.
Oh my.
Well, you're pulling something, all right.
Anyway, my point was a recent channel I watched about a week ago, because Ottawa's our feds, they take all our tax money, tax the hell out of us, and then they collect all that money up in Ottawa, the greedy little buggers, and they give billions and billions of dollars to the reservations every year, because that's just been a long-standing tradition. I don't know when that came into some kind of law or whatever, but it's billions. And somebody did the math last week, and they worked out the current Indigenous population in Canada, and they worked it out to if the government just sent a check to each individual Indigenous person, each person would get a $30,000 check in the mail. But what they do is no, they don't send it to the average folks living in the reservation. They send it to the band leaders and councils, and guess what happens to the money? Gosh, it just
goes up like a fart in the wind.
It seems to go somewhere, and there's still no clean drinking water in a lot of reservations. Yeah. Substandard housing with families crowded together in crappy little houses.
Yeah.
So I would love to see, the whole thing about trying to defend Canada using that excuse is sad, because the feds have done nothing but treat Indigenous people like garbage in this country for decades, and I for one have always been pissed off about that. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to say night, Germ.
Night, Germ. Take care.
Night, Germ.
Night, Germ. Have a good one.
Scott or Scurry says I petitioned Trump to annex Scotty R-37. No, Scurry, we should just throw you over the border just for that. We'll throw you over the border.
I would sign that. I'll sign that petition.
But
before we throw you over the border, you'll spend a couple nights in Alligator Alcatraz.
No. What you do is you put lemon pie in a drone and drop him over Lake Ontario. We'll see what he does after.
Oh, that's no.
That's our problem.
Yeah, Booer,
that's horrible.
Yeah, Booer says For shame. As in many reservations,
Yeah,
U.S.
would.
have bad conditions, high crime plus casinos. Well, here in the Midwest, I'm not sure how it is out east, but you could always tell where a historical battle took place, because if the colonists have won the battle, it's a historical marker. But if the Indians won the battle, there's a casino.
Yeah, but I don't think any of the First Nations, because I don't think I've lived here too long, but PvP, do you know of any of the First Nations reservations that have casinos like they do down in the United States?
Oh, I'm sure there are some. There probably are. I mean, I don't want to make blanket statements unless I do the research first, Mikey. So I think there probably are some reservations that might have businesses operating. I know, like when it comes to like cigarettes, for instance, I'm pretty sure the First Nations get tax-free smokes, right? Which the rest of us, poor dumb white people, don't get that at all. So they do have their perks. I'll say that. But
Right.
I don't. I have zero problem with that. It's like okay, and for many years, let's face it, for many years, when Canada was a young country, they really did treat the indigenous people badly. Like it was really shameful when I look back on our history. Um, but I got to say, over the last 30 years, 40 years, ever since about the 1970s, it started to turn around, and there have been some extremely successful Aboriginal people in the arts, in politics. I think there was even one Supreme Court judge or something. I remember. I think he was Aboriginal. Their Aboriginal people have climbed high in Canadian society. So that hasn't really held people back if they are ambitious enough and they work hard, just like any person. Right? Anyway, shut up. Mikey's trying to show something. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
No,
No, I'm looking at the stitches.
What?
See, so in Britain, he goes, I need stitches. Okay, you have an appointment in 54 days. United States, I need stitches. That'll be $10,000. In Canada, I need stitches. Have you tried dying?
Well,
really.
Have you tried dying?
This isn't true. Not true, because when I was in my 20s and I was really stupid, I decided to cut up some cardboard boxes with a box cutter. You know what I put the box? You know where I put the box on top of? My leg.
Yeah. But that's like 300 years ago, PvP.
No, that was maybe back around 80 something. But the thing is, we still have walk-in clinics. Okay, maybe they were easier to access back then. The point is, no, you don't. You're not going to die. I still have the scar. It's about 5 inches across my leg here. I still have the scar all these years later. But I got in there. I walked in. Luckily, if you hit it at a good time when they're not busy. I was in to see the doctor in about 15 minutes because I guess they could see the bloody towel that I was holding on my leg so I didn't, bleed all over the floor. And the doc took me in and he sewed me up like in 5 minutes. He had it all stitched up and he's like, okay, leave those stitches in for about 7 to 10 days. And when that time's passed, just come back to the clinic and we'll pull the stitches out for you. No problemo. And then he told me this beautiful little story. He says, you're lucky you cut yourself with a box cutter because that's a nice, clean, easy cut to stitch. You should see the guys that come in here with chainsaw wounds that I have to deal with. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I feel lucky now.
Yeah.
But so I'm still trying to think. We're still trying to figure out here if Ukraine, if this is gonna trigger Article 5 or not, the violation of airspace.
I think if this triggers Article 5, man, the world is really getting messed up because this is a pretty weak excuse to go to Article 5.
Yeah, Gorilla, I sent you a message there in the private chat, so I'm going to head out to my other stream. So,
okay, all right, since Mikey wants to be a trainer, have a good night.
Way, Mikey,
make sure to promote yourself.
Okay, tomorrow is 2 episodes of 18 from season 5. Thursday, I'll be there with you, Gorilla, for Twilight Zone. There are 4 episodes, and then season 5, episode 9 of The Waltons on Friday. And then I've got my Nostalgic Pod Blast as I'm a co-host with Chance Bartels. That's going to be at 5:35 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to discuss, among other pop culture things, the 50th anniversary of Space 1999. So that's going to be a lot of fun with Mark Leonard and Barbara Bain. So,
Hey, Mikey, can you post a link on Facebook to the other stream?
I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it to you on your Facebook Messenger.
Once Gorilla's done for the night here, I might pop in for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll do the best I can on that. But anyway, take care, everyone. Bye, Moira.
Thank you. Just a sec. I need a minute.
Thanks, Gorilla. What? Meow meow. There, Moira.
Right.
Take it.
I need a minute though. On Thursday, I want to do a 9/11 stream, but that's also Twilight there. I don't know if I should do the 9/11 stream or.
Yeah, I want to. You and I did a great job the last time when we talked about 9/11 and we shared our streams. That sounds like a great idea, Gorilla. I probably would like to do that instead, and then just postpone Twilight Zone for another week. That's up to you, though.
Yeah, PvP.
It's totally your call.
Well, yeah, I know. Gosh, that's been 9/11. How many years is that now?
24.
It's been 24 years now. 24 years.
I actually watched that happening live on the TV that day.
Well, I already told you where I was when it happened. We had 3 people freak out, and one of them collapsed and fainted. The other 2 ran out of the building, and they said, "Okay, go home."
Yeah, because I was I would have been 40 something then, I guess.
Yeah.
So to watch that, I still remember the people jumping out of the windows live on camera.
Yeah.
That's going to haunt me for the rest of my days because I've never seen anything as horrible as that. And I hope I never do. But
I know my brother, that's my brother's birthday. And he's I told you before, he's an educator, a teacher. He's been an assistant principal and a principal. And every year, the kids ask him, it's like, Mr., his last name is Gordon, but Gordon, and they say, Mr. Gordon, do you know today is? Yes. Do you know today's your birthday too? Yes. He gets tired of saying that over the last 24 years. So,
I'd be perfectly fine with doing a 9/11 stream. I mean, even as a Canadian, well,
thank you, Suzanne.
Did you ever hear about how when they closed the airspace in America, a lot of the jets flew up from Canada?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they went to little towns like on the East Coast. I can't remember. I think it was Gander, Newfoundland, Mikey? Something like that.
Yeah, Gander, Newfoundland, right.
They took in all kinds of jets that were diverted to Canadian airspace because they figured our airspace would be safe.
Right.
And basically, the people in these small communities housed, I think, probably thousands of Americans. They took them into their homes. They fed them. They gave them a place to sleep. So when people, disparage my country, I really get fucking pissed off because I'm tired of that ignorance. I'm not directing that at anybody in particular, but I do not appreciate people shitting on my country, and I that's why I never would shit on America, because I respect America and I respect the people there, and I respect their values and I respect their laws. So when people rag on Canada with it, really have never lived here and probably never will understand it from the inside. There's a few videos I'll probably share that day, Gorilla, about what happened that day when people landed and Canadians took them in and welcomed them, and there's some really wonderful stuff there that I would like to go over. So yeah, I'm perfectly good with even though I'm looking forward, because those last Twilight Zones, it's the final season 1 episodes we were going to do, but we can do that next week if you want.
PvP. Yeah. What kind of stuff are people saying about Canada?
Well, did you hear Germ today?
I did not. I was away a minute ago, so I didn't catch that.
Okay. Anyway, Gorilla, then let me know before Thursday if you want to do something, and I'll share a stream.
No, we can't. We'll just simulcast stuff, Mike, because I already have like a thing I was running through my head what I want to do for this one.
Okay, cool. Just let me know if you want to do that, okay?
Well, I thought I would ask about what they were saying about Canada, because Canada's kind of crazy. They're like,
Yeah.
I hope they're
And I
not
would
thinking that
agree.
Canada's a bunch of sissies, because they're the reason some stuff was added to the Geneva Convention. Like,
Do you know?
I'm for real. Didn't know about that food can thing in World War One. They would throw
Oh yeah, that's my
food
favorite
over to
war
the opposing
story.
side, and then they started throwing grenades. Like,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite stories.
one of Canada's mottos used to be, "It's not a war crime the first time." Like, they're not sissies. Like, I don't know what they're saying, but like, they're kind of nuts.
Well, the thing is, I think if you look into Canada's World War II history, we went from a minor Commonwealth country. Our army grew leaps and bounds building up to the war, because I think we're the third or fourth country after, probably, I don't know, maybe it was England and the Australia maybe beat us to the punch, but we were pretty much there in the first week declaring war on Germany.
Right.
And our Navy grew to be, I think it was the third largest Navy on planet Earth by the time we got the war going. We had a huge naval force. And thing is, we had a big merchant marine, and the merchant marines would take food, weapons, supplies to keep the United Kingdom viable. And the merchant marines would be escorted by Canadian destroyers and, Canadian battleships, right? And the battle, look up Battle of the North Atlantic. That'll give you your history. It was a bloody battle that probably a lot of people aren't even aware of, because the other battles, in Europe and whatever, are more glamorous, so to speak. But the Battle of the North Atlantic, because you had the German U-boats that would love to sink us, right? So it was a hell of a thing. But we kept getting our supplies over to Britain and kept them going in those really early, difficult years when, nobody knew if the West, if Hitler was going to conquer the world at that point. Because my parents were alive then, and they remembered it, and they didn't know how the war was going to end up when they were alive. So, history means a lot to me, and Canada had a proud, and don't forget the Battle of D-Day. Canada, I believe, pushed in further than any other Allied troops. I think we got in 26 miles into German territory the first day. I don't think any other nation actually got in that deep into the German occupied territories. So, when people disrespect Canada, I say, you know what? Do your history. Read your history lessons, folks, because, and as far as like, people diss our medical system. Well, Tommy Douglas, a little fellow from Saskatchewan, I think he was the premier back then. He went to Ottawa, and back in Saskatchewan, people couldn't afford to pay a doctor, so they just died, because that's what they did back then. If you didn't have money and you were a poor farmer, you died. And Tommy got tired of his people that he was, looking after in his province dying for no good reason he could see. So he went to Ottawa, got elected to one of the leaders. I think he was the leader of the NDP back when that actually meant something good, not like the shit party they are now. And he proposed the Medicaid Act, where, people could get I'm talking basic health care without having to, go broke and get medical treatment when they really needed it. And I've always been proud of that. The system now is overstrained for a lot of reasons, but it's too complicated to go into tonight. Like, once again, I say, just do your research on history. And the current stuff with the Liberals in the last 10 years has really messed a lot of that really badly. So, Canada is kind of a dumpster fire right now, but we did not used to be. We used to be a pretty good, democracy in the Western world. But then, of course, so was England, so was, Australia, so were other countries, and now they've all gone down the dumpster fire tubes too. So, just take a look at the history of these countries, and then look at what's happening currently. Sorry to go on so long, girl. I really didn't mean to, but me once I get going. So,
well, let's catch up on chats here. Does Canada have reservations about giving back the land back? Oh no, they're probably giving it back.
Is that a joke?
Oh,
reservations.
Oh, damn! But oh,
just a sec. It went over my head here. Just a sec.
That's all.
Which head?
Oh, jeez. If I'm hitting my head, it's going to be the one on top of my shoulders. I'm sorry. I'm not going to punch myself down there.
So Scurvy says, so when I was hospitalized years ago, it was $70,000 for a surgery. I didn't end up paying that much, but imagine getting that bill in the mail.
Oh yeah, I'd had a fit. Ooh.
What are they going to do? Shove your appendix back in or whatever your surgery is for? What are they going to do? Shove it right back in?
No, but they'd fuck up your credit and make it really difficult to rent a place, or like, I don't know, they try to seize your paychecks or something. I just depends on how mad they want to get you.
I mean,
hospitals can't do that. If you don't pay, they can't seize your paycheck.
Well, I think they're thinking about trying to change that. Well, somebody in particular was talking about changing that, so we'll see how that goes.
No, the thing is, I mean, Lemon's comment is, sadly too common from what I keep hearing about people in your country. But a quick example. I'll try to be quick, Rilla. Sorry. My mom had uterine cancer in the 70s when I was in my teens. The doctor caught it early because she had a pap test, and it was just linings on the wall of the uterus. He said, "Okay, you got to go in and have a total hysterectomy. We're not going to take any chances." She went in. They took everything out. She was in there for about, 7 to 10 days. She said it was agony, like total pain, but she pulled through it, and she lived to be 92.
Thank goodness.
And she did not pay a penny. We didn't pay 1 cent for that operation.
That is awesome.
It's that's why I've always been happy to be a Canadian. At least back then I was. Now it's getting messed up because the mass immigration. I mean, we've always had immigrants. My mother was an immigrant. She was born in England, but the Liberals have flooded millions and millions and millions of people into this country in the last 10 years, and it's overpowering the healthcare system. Housing is going through a crisis because nobody can get a home. Anyway, I don't want to go into the detail because that's for another day. So I'll just stop there.
So, U.S. healthcare definitely has its issues.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, but every healthcare system has its issues.
Yep.
There, either you got extremely long wait times, or you got extremely high prices, or in some cases you get a program goes where now it's becoming kind of like the joke there earlier, where they, like, for example, one veteran up in Canada, she wanted to get a stair lift just so she could get up to the upstairs of her house there. And they tried to get her to take the MAID program so they didn't have to pay for the stair lift.
Yeah, Oklahoma I think is going to try to bring in death panels. They're going to try to use AI, and of course the company gets a kickback for every time the AI says no, and that's here in Oklahoma. So yeah, definitely flawed here. So I don't know why anybody in Oklahoma would talk shit about socialized health care, considering.
That's the thing I really hate. The MAID program is disgusting. I hate it. It's bullshit. The only reason I could say it's going to take a while for her to get a stair lift is because that's not critical health care. That's like, kind of like optional health care, right? Like, if you got bad acne, they're not going to rush you over to the hospital. It's like you'll live, right? And this lady, even though it's very inconvenient, and I'm sure if she maybe had some help, maybe she could get some home assistance, or maybe, friends and family, or just move into a place where she doesn't have stairs even, but I get it. I totally, I think the MAID thing is sick. I think it's very sick. And I'm totally against it. Anyway, sorry.
Just a sec. I want to say welcome to Sci-Fi Nation and Daniel's Hot Topics. Welcome. Here, the PvP, you want to read this one?
Oh, I think Germ says get my goat. You don't think I've been aware of that for like a year now?
That's here. Yeah. The U.S. was the only country the mustache man declared war on?
He did not declare war on America. I don't believe. His speeches have been. I've heard his translated speeches, and he said Germany should be for the Germans, America for the Americans, England for the English, and like he didn't want to be for America.
December 11th, 1941, he declared war 3 days after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor there
Harbor.
because he is obligated he is obligated to declare war by treaty.
Well, the thing is, if you look at history, countries like Canada, Britain, Australia, we all declared war in 1939, very quickly after he invaded Poland. Right? We're getting back to Poland. Hey, how about that? But a lot of the Allied countries declared war early on, and we built up our troops. We sent our troops in, armies, Air Force, Navy. We fought like hell to try and keep democracy going, and of course we were doing okay, but we didn't have the might and the large forces that the Americans had. But the trouble was, you had a pacifist movement in America back then. The American people, a lot of them did not want to engage. They were like, oh, well, that's their war. That's Europe's problem. We don't need to get our hands dirty in that. Remember the Walton's episode we watched about a month ago there, Gorilla? About the Holocaust stuff. I guess I shouldn't have used that word shit. Sorry. But, look at your history books. It was only when Pearl Harbor was just obliterated by that sneak attack by the Japanese Air Force that America finally, the president had. I mean, can you imagine if he hadn't declared war on Germany and Japan at that point? You have to be a leader at some point, even if you don't want to get involved.
Well, we're peaceful people until someone decided to go into the bear stand and start poking the bear.
Yeah, well, they poked the dumbest thing Japan ever did was poke your bear. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, what America needed was something to piss us off enough to go, all right, fucking time to kick some ass again.
The thing is, I did visit Pearl Harbor like back in the 70s with my parents, and I went to the was the Omaha, the ship that's still under there with the memorial. Arizona. Yeah, we docked at the Arizona Memorial and we walked around. We only had like 10 minutes because we were, just a boat tour, right? But I remember walking down the hallway and reading all the names of the men still, interned there. Like it's basically it's basically a memorial to those brave soldiers, or I should say sailors, of course. And I remember reading all those long lists of name after name after name. And these guys were probably in their early 20s or something. They didn't live long enough to even have lives. And, that was a very humbling experience to see that memorial, which I will never forget that day. I was very, very, happy and proud to get to experience that firsthand. That was a good day. And I'm so glad America joined our forces to help defeat that great evil we had in the world. So anyway, I just want to wrap up with Suzanne's comment. Sorry, PVP, I have freedom of speech, but I don't bow to yeah, but have you seen like Bill was it C-67? They want to take our freedom of speech away soon, Suzanne.
They've got to work on doing it to both of us.
Oh, they've been working away, but Carney is like scary. I'll send you some of the information, Suzanne.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, my bad. I didn't know that he declared war after Pearl Harbor. So my bad on that. I didn't know.
Yeah, no. Just,
I just want to add that in.
He didn't have a choice. I think if he sat back after Pearl Harbor and just done nothing, boy, I think a lot of Americans would have been really jacked up mad.
We wouldn't have gone to war in Europe if he did not declare war on us. Our beef was with Japan. Hitler just decided to declare war, so Roosevelt likes. He's a bigger issue right now than Japan. We could contain Japan until after we deal with Europe there. So that's why we sent the vast amount of people to Europe there. But let's catch up. We got like 30 chats here.
Oh boy. Popular.
And Scurvy says, "Oh, it's Mikey that left." Yes, Scurvy. Warrior Canada was great once upon a time, not any longer.
That's exactly my point, Suzanne. We were a great nation until about 15 years ago, and the liberals have put us into the dumpster fire. And they've done it on purpose, which is even sicker.
Yeah, I will forever be mad at Canada. The snow and winter comes from there.
Oh, yeah, hate us for the climate. Thank you. That's rational.
Yeah, it's all Canada's fault.
Blame
And
Canada.
Sci-Fi Nation gives us some popcorn. And in the real world of 2025, we have no real military whatsoever.
You know why? Because the liberals dismantled it.
Yeah. The bill for my wife's cancer treatments ran into holy shit.
Holy.
Oh my God!
Wow.
What the fuck? They give her a brand new body? What the shit?
Boomer, that's messed up, dude. I'm shocked.
Yeah. Over 10 years before it finally got. I'm sorry to hear that, Boomer.
Oh, sorry, Boomer.
Yeah. History is only great if you hear from the build spawn. It was glorified. I think she's trying.
Build a pawn.
Okay. So, yeah. No, history is always written by the victors.
Right?
And Sci-Fi Nation, hey. Welcome, Daniel's Hot Topics.
Hey, Daniel.
Where I say hi. The only Western country where your healthcare bill can bankrupt you if you're lucky to afford the stuff to begin with, America. Well, that's why I got insurance.
If you got insurance, you can probably get by, but I feel sorry for the uninsured Americans.
I'm lucky I had state insurance.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
That's why I can't talk shit about socialized healthcare, because that kind of is like that.
Yeah.
It'd be hypocritical of if I did.
And Daniel said, drones spark and ignite what? Oh, what? We were talking earlier tonight. Poland's airspace was violated by Russian kamikaze drones, as what's reported.
And I was looking up to see if we have any bases there in Poland, and we do. And interestingly enough, there's like one in the middle and two at the top, but none where that drone came through. So I'm guessing that either it was a coincidence or that drone knew there might be U.S. military presence in the area and did not want to ruffle them, which makes sense because I wouldn't want to.
My guess, Moyer, is
I'm
if
thinking
they
that
didn't.
it's not meant to actually cause a problem with Poland. It was trying to just skirt on through.
I'm guessing they didn't want to piss off Trump and go, fuck around and find out kind of scenario.
Yeah. And
I mean,
let's
that's
see.
understandable. Nope,
Thomas
nobody
says,
wants that smoke.
Oddly enough, Germany and Russia invaded Poland on September 1st. Yeah, they had some kind of treaty there, but then Hitler decided to attack Russia. Let's see. America didn't have much either due to the Treaty of Paris. I think it was from World War One. Took us 2 years to start producing mass numbers of war supplies.
I'll have to look that up because
We started producing in 1935, I believe. We knew that something was brewing. We started ramping up at peacetime drafts and all that, but we didn't fully mobilize until 42. Hello, Gap. Roosevelt did implement a limited draft. Yeah, I believe that was like 35 or 36. He did that. Plus, we did land lease before we entered the war, or even during. Oh yeah, Britain got screwed on that land lease thing because we took all their overseas bases. And Sapphire, you going to stream later? Yeah, he probably will. Some nuts still think Pearl Harbor was a false.
Mean to say Treaty of Paris because that's from 1763. Is he talking about the Treaty of Versailles?
It would be Versailles. It would be Versailles. Yes, I believe.
Okay, I went to look that up because I was like, Versailles is in France, but hold on. I went to Google that because I was like, something don't feel right, but I didn't want to correct somebody.
Yeah, Versailles is in southern France.
I didn't
Versailles
want to be wrong.
Yeah, Versailles in southern France because that was like Louis XIV's palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thomas says some nuts still think Pearl Harbor was a false flag. No, here's my thoughts on.
I don't understand why they think that because they were talking about like having the fuel to go from Japan to Hawaii, and so but I don't know the fuselage of those planes, so I don't know.
Well, I think Pearl Harbor was bombed by Japan, but I think it kind of prodded Japan a little bit, kind of we kind of put them in a situation there where they felt like they had no choice, and I think we kind of ignored the warnings just so
Yeah,
we.
I think there were warnings, and I think they didn't do anything to defend.
Maybe they should have sent a diplomatic corps over to Washington, D.C. to say, we have some grievances before they launched an all-out attack.
No, I think they did, and we just told them to fuck off.
Well, have you ever seen that movie, Tora, Tora, Tora?
No.
That's that's the best Pearl Harbor movie because it's very historically accurate. It's almost documentary-like, even though it is a dramatic action war film. And they actually show the Japanese going to Washington to present, to talk to the American government. But the sad thing is, they get there like an hour or two after the attack.
Yeah.
So, basically Japan they had two things going on. They had their, Air Force flying to Pearl Harbor. At the same time, they had their diplomats going to talk to the president. Guess who got there first?
Doesn't it seem weird that they would launch an attack on Pearl Harbor before the diplomats even had a chance to speak?
It's just stupid. Odd. It's a very great movie, though. I highly recommend it if you've never seen it.
So Sci-Fi Nation says, thinking about it, Sudan says, I'll join. Okay. Gorilla, I'm not trying to start a war, just say the truth. So I'll quit. No, Suzanne, I like having these debates and these discussions. This is what this world needs more of instead of the shit that goes on Twitter. I think we're having a great discussion, and you're making some excellent points.
I love controversy, talking to other people. Like, I don't like stupid controversy that's meaningless in the media, but if I get on a panel and other people have opposite opinions to me, and we can get controversial going in a debate, as long as it stays respectful, I don't have any problem with that at all.
Yeah, and have a good night, Gap. That's my point.
Night, Gap. Take care.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that's my point. PvP. And good thing we sent millions of other countries so they can do gender studies instead of spending on Americans. You actually need medical help. Yeah, like spending $1 million to women in Afghanistan to look at a fucking urinal.
Oh boy.
Okay, I got a personal story about urinals.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear a story about a urinal.
No, it's not me using a urinal. When I took my job training about 6 years ago, I got my present job to get back in the workforce. Great classroom of people. There were about 10 of us, and we had great instructors for a couple of months and learned a hell of a lot. Anyway, one of the guys I got to know had actually spent, he'd done time in Afghanistan serving in the military. Like, he'd done several tours. He was like, mid-league. I think he was like, I don't know, major, or he wasn't like ground troops, but he wasn't high up either. And I'll never forget the story he told me when he was in, what's the main city in Afghanistan? Kabul? No, not Kabul.
Kabul. Or Kabul.
Is it? Okay. They were trying to train the Afghanis to some kind of level of civilization, basically, right? Because, man, they were backwards. And he told me this one story once. He goes into the bathroom because they're trying to tell them how to use bathroom facilities like a civilized Western person would. He goes in there and all the men are pissing in the sinks. They're all pissing in the sinks because they don't know what a urinal is. It's like, when I heard that story, I was like, yep, sad, but probably true. Because he was there and he told me this, right? So,
yeah.
What can I say?
Nemesis says Germany tried to take the Balkans for their oil fields. I thought there was the Balkans that, and I think there's another oil field that the Caucasus. He was trying to take the Caucasus also. And Versailles, yes, Thomas, exactly. Right treaty, wrong town. LOL. Everyone violated the Treaty of Versailles and the League of Nations. I don't know what the UN's also fucking useless too, because all they do is go no, naughty. That's about all the fucking UN's good for.
Shame on you.
Remember, the League of Nations lured to WW2, and now the UN could possibly lead to WW3 because they're just so stupid.
Well, all the UN is a fucking finger wagging thing. Is a fucking.
They're idiots. They're complete idiots.
Yeah. Now, see, of course, it was filmed by Japan. We have enough film from the actual attacked by Japan. Well, 2 hours before a U.S. ship sunk a Japanese sub in Hawaii. Yeah, it starts with an M. It's like the maybe it was. Oh no, it wasn't the Melbourne. It started with an M. I can't remember the ship's name right off the top of my head. The new Midway movie from a few years ago shows a 5-minute scene for the attack too. Cool. The diplomatic message was still being decoded when the attack happened. Yeah, I believe that is also true. LO, so does Daniel PvP. Chris, so thank you, Suzanne. Thank you very much for that. How could I have forgotten the Caucasus? I don't know. Maybe you're blanking out on anything that starts with cock.
Yeah, Caucasus always sounded very dirty to me somehow.
Yeah, and League of Nations is just the predecessor of the UN. Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah,
but I think I'm going to start wrapping her up here because I'm getting tired. Sure. That allergic reaction I had last night has just wiped me for today.
Uh-oh.
Wrap it up like a teenager, huh?
Yeah, let's be like a kid on prom night and wrap it up. So thank you, Sci-Fi Nation, for coming. I think he's going to be doing a stream later, but he does a bunch of live streams there, so make sure to check them out. Oh, we got 2 more chats here. Russia invaded many nations, but in the years right before World War II, they only fought the Germans because Germany attacked them. Then they took advantage and seized Eastern Europe for exactly. That's how the Warsaw Pact came about. U.S. said War DD-7 attacked the Japanese sub, the depth charges before the attack. See, I always thought it was a ship that started with an M. Maybe it was the Japanese sub that started with an M. But also, thank you, Scurvy, for coming. Thank you, Dan Savidi, for coming. He's really good with keeping up with his chat there. He has a gaming channel, and I guarantee you'll learn some new words there when he's sitting there gaming. Thank you, Suzanne, for coming. Thank you, Thomas Potts, for coming. He hasn't posted it in a while, I believe, but he has a bunch of footage of some of his old Minecraft builds, of his Bird Prey 5's crashing and stuff he's clipped out of context from Bird Prey 5. So make sure to check him out there. Thank you, Gap After Dark, for coming. He does a bunch of shorts about the stuff he's collected over the years. So make sure to check those out. And thank you, Daniel's Hot Topics, for coming. And scroll. Thank you, the Phantom Boomer Explorers, for coming. He runs 3 watch parties a week on YouTube or on Cosby there, but he puts the trailers for those on his YouTube channel. So definitely make sure to check him out. And thank you, Mikey, for being on the panel. He's already promoted himself. And thank you, Resolute Jerm, for coming. He's been doing his Kaiju film series on Mondays, and then on Wednesdays there he has his nerd panel. Then on Saturdays he has the pre-Saving Star Trek stream where they watch an episode of, I believe, Enterprise. Thank you to Professor Brain Specs for coming. He's the co-host on Jep Nerdy and now I'm drawing a blank on
Rainforest.
no, they're doing Babylon 5. Shit, I can't believe I can't believe I don't have a brave fart on this. I'm kicking myself already. I'm gonna have to kick my own ass.
It happens.
Oh.
A sign of old age.
Yeah, I'm going through my subscriptions right.
I got the Irish Alzheimer's.
You see? It's sketchy.
Yep.
Well,
Life with Matthew. God, how can I fucking forget that? Life with Matthew. Okay, I'm kicking myself.
I wouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, thank you, Herc130, for coming on his Mach 1 for Life channel. He's been restoring his Mach 1 that he had in high school that he bought back. So make sure to check him out there. And while I'm scrolling, Jim, promote yourself.
Scrolling.
Well, as usual at Commodore Productions, nothing going on right now. But like I said last night, we're buying stuff little by little. There's another item I just found. I'm trying to raise the money to get it. It's a little expensive, but it's a 3D print. And I asked Matt if he can make it, and he hasn't really let me know yet. So if Matt could make it, I'll probably get it a lot more cheaper. But other than that, just keep watching Commodore Productions. You never know what you're going to see, and you never know when a video might pop up. You have no idea. And there is a video I am working on, and it might be up soon. I don't know yet, but just keep watching. And thank you for the invite there, Gorilla. And I'm glad that you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for being on the panel. And Scurvy here says, "Hey, Beavis, let's visit the Caucasus."
Oh no!
You get it? You get it? You get it? It's a dick joke. Yup, Germany broke the non-aggression treaty with Russia when they launched Operation Barbarossa, and the French are acting out in the French Palace again. Have a good night, Suzanne.
Nice,
You too,
Suzanne.
Scurvy.
Hi, Suzanne. Take care.
And thank you for putting the link there. All right, PvP, what you got going on?
Not much. I'm probably gonna have some supper and probably get some sleep. So I'm going to have another wonderfully exciting evening that James Bond will be jealous of, I'm sure. Other than that, I just want to mention that wonderful Tora film about the attack on Pearl Harbor, which I still think is the most historically accurate film ever made. It's a long one. It's 2.5 hours, but I found the complete movie for free on YouTube. And I posted the link in the private chat for all you wonderful people if you want to grab it before the stream dies.
Yeah. All right. Moyer, what you got going on?
I'm thinking tomorrow that I'm either going to play a few independent and fan films that people have made to kick off the Halloween season.
Ooh.
And or bitch about politics. But I've kind of lost my will to live, so like I have some stuff saved. I'm just like, am I gonna do it? Because
gosh,
damn,
that's a bit harsh, Moira.
Well, it's. I mean, I think we've all been there. Like you see stuff wrong, you call it out, and you scream into the void. You scream at the clouds like a crazy old man, and you know that there's nothing. Nothing you say is gonna save these people, and nothing's gonna help. And it's like it's fucking depressing.
It is. I'll tell you right now, though, as a kid of the 60s, a teen of the 70s, when we were in a golden age where music, TV, and music films was all fabulous, everything was good. Well, I know Vietnam sucked, but, other than shit like that, it was damn good. A lot better now. And the government's actually made sense and actually governed for the, reasonably good of the people they were governing.
Right.
And then when I look at the train wreck we're living in now, it's like, I can understand your sentiment, but you're still a young person. Try looking at the world today when you're in your 60s. And if you want to talk losing your will to live, well, I can probably do that, but I refuse to give up.
Oh, I'm not going to actually give up. Just
don't worry. I've been voting for that.
I'm trying to find the fire to do it. It's kind of like, ugh.
Yeah. Don't worry. I've been voting for the asteroid for years now.
That's
right.
Well, at least that'd be quick.
I mean, governments have been corrupt and politicians have been more obviously corrupt as I was growing up. But I at least remember that when they were caught, they'd go on TV and apologize and have that tear and at least acted like they were ashamed. Now they don't even act ashamed anymore. At least they pretended to be back then.
They're proud of it.
Right? They're like, what are you going to do about it? And I'm like, you know what? My daughter's 18 now. I might just do something now, Like, I don't have to worry about child services taking her. Like, she can survive on her own. Like,
Nixon got on the helicopter and flew away. Like, he was goodbye.
That was so weird. That was a weird thing. I don't even know how guilty he actually was because that was just so fucking weird. And then y'all got Ford. Did anybody even vote for Ford? Because I think he just sort of appeared one day.
Ford was the vice president, so he automatically got the job, Moira.
Well, yeah, but like, he just sort of, I don't know.
When the president dies or abdicates, the vice president under him automatically has to seize
But
power
they
because
didn't
that's the way your
investigate him, though?
constitution is written.
Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they were both involved. Like, nobody thought to investigate him, possibly.
Well, have you ever?
As Richard Nixon took the blame for everything.
Well, he's a team player like that.
I would suggest the movie All the President's Men if you want to get some background on that.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Robert Redford?
It is.
Okay, rock on. I've heard about it, but I ain't seen it yet. But I'm
It's
aware.
a good film. I think it's a very serious film about the shenanigans that Turkey, as we called him back then, Turkey Dick.
Yeah,
he kind of got that nickname for a reason. So that's
You ate turkey dick? I've heard of
I think
tricky
he
dick.
did.
No.
He said tricky, but it did sound like turkey. It did sound like turkey. I know the term tricky dick. And
Okay, tricky. Okay, now I'm going to have images of Richard Nixon getting basted. Thank you, Gorilla.
Yeah, get the old bass out.
Get the bass out. I'm not going to comment more about that.
All right,
Damn.
but
I'm saying we make turkey noises at everyone.
Yeah. But as for me, we're not gonna do Twilight Zone this week. We're gonna do
I can't stop laughing.
9/11 stream there. But then Friday there we're doing the we're doing our Waltons review. I cannot remember which episode it was.
We did the wedding. I remember that one.
Yeah, it's after the wedding.
Memory lapse.
Then I think we're gonna watch Castaway for Sunday there.
Oh, that film bores the hell out of me.
You picked a boring film for us to watch.
Maybe I'll try it again. I saw it at the theater when I came out. Once again, dating myself, and I actually was kind of a Tom Hanks fan in those days because he did some good movies in kind of midway. But I don't know. I just couldn't get into that movie, man.
Yeah. Then on Monday, we're going to have a special watch party of the pilot of Defying Gravity. There, Boomer's going to host it for us. Then we're going to do a live stream on YouTube there. Then we'll have our cigar launch next Tuesday. And for our last comment, the comment of the night, good old Turkey Dick Nixon.
There you go.
We're going to leave that up on the screen with that. Everyone, you guys have a good night. Remember to be a gorilla.
Good night.
Good night. Take care.
Pick United We Roar or Roar Gratitude.
Huh?
United We Roar Gratitude.
Huh?
Roar of Gratitude or United We Roar. Just pick one.
I'm confused.
It sounds like you say roar.
Never mind.
Pounds. So raise your hands and feel the vibe. To every listener, you are trying.